Hey, gang, I lost my wager last night, and I'm totally fine with it. This is the last time. Can we put up my betting slip to show that last night I had Buffalo to cover? Buffalo was -2.
Okay.
There's my betting slip.
Okay.
I went 25 large.
No, you didn't.
On
25
Buffalo.
Large.
I went 25 large on Buffalo last night, and I lost, and I'm okay. And here's the reason that I'm okay. I was delayed. I had a very important social commitment last night, and I was delayed either watching or listening to the beginning of the game.
Okay.
By the time I was able to tune in and hear what was going on, New York had the ball, the green New York. I have to play by the rules here, right? The green New York, the Aaron Rodgers New York had the ball. Only Aaron Rodgers,
by the time you got there?
Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing. Zach Wilson was in a quarterback. I'm like, what the hell happened here? Okay, I had no idea. I'm looking at the New York Post today where the front page says, agony and ecstasy. He's likely lost for the season. He had like
Bad
4 or
injury.
5 touches.
Oh, no.
That's it. And so TC, TC, even though I had Buffalo, I now put my heart over my wallet.
Oh, you did.
I switched allegiance.
You did?
And I ended up going for, the green New York.
You went for the green New York for 25 large?
No, I lost my 25 large.
Oh,
Now, I could have, I didn't. This is what I should have done. I should have made an in-game live bet.
Well, that's fun.
But I didn't.
Okay.
Because I already had 25 on the line, and for me, that was heavy.
Oh, heavy.
That was heavy. But I could have said, hey, you know what? It's not just me. Everybody now wants the New York Green team to win.
So next time.
Because you feel sorry for them.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, Robert Saleh, the coach, they packed more fans into MetLife Stadium last night than they would for a Super Bowl.
Unbelievable.
Just heartbreaking.
I know.
And I got to tell you, I'm not sold rooting for Aaron Rodgers on a personal level.
I thought you were because of Hard Knocks.
I said that in Hard Knocks, I end up really liking the teams.
Right.
This year, I don't know. But
interesting.
But I just was heartbroken for the green New York team last night. So I'm thrilled. And by the way, Bet Parks, you can have my 25. I got $25 worth of enjoyment out of seeing green New York win that game last night.
Perfect.
Stayed up way too late. Nobody does live in-game betting better than Parks, the Bet Parks Sportsbook app. The only that I recommend. Big game Thursday. Phillies a 7.5-point home favorite hosting Minnesota. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for the Tuesday headlines. More of the Tuesday headlines from the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. I got to get in on this. And we had as our thumbnail now Secretary Jennifer Granholm. I like her. I've watched her over the years. I've been on a couple of CNN panels with her. She has always struck me, Jennifer Granholm, as being smart and competent. I like her. I just like her.
She's very straightforward, it seems.
It's my impression. Now, she's got to fire somebody on the advance team.
Okay,
somebody has to go.
I would like.
This is not her fault.
I would like
but somebody's got to go.
Man opinion of this debacle.
So Granholm was on a road trip with a bunch of staffers through the Southeast, touting electric vehicles and the money being spent to change and add to the charging stations. I'll just pick this up from NPR's coverage. When Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm set out on a 4-day electric vehicle road trip this summer, she knew charging might be a challenge, but she probably didn't expect anybody to call the cops. Granholm's trip through the Southeast from Charlotte, North Carolina to Memphis, Tennessee was intended to draw attention to the billions of dollars the White House is pouring into green energy, and clean cars. But between stops, Granholm's entourage at times had to grapple with the limitations of the present. Like when her caravan of EVs, and then it names the type of vehicles, was planning to fast charge in Grovetown, a suburb of Augusta, Georgia. Her advance team realized there weren't going to be enough plugs to go around. One of the station's 4 chargers was broken. Others were occupied. So an energy department staffer tried parking a non-electric vehicle by one of the working chargers so as to reserve a spot for the approaching Secretary of Energy.
Cannot save seats. Cannot save seats.
That did not go well. A regular gas-powered car blocking the only free spot for a charger. In fact, a family was boxed out on a sweltering day with a baby in the vehicle, baby on board. They were so upset they decided to get the authorities involved. They called the police. Sheriff's office couldn't do anything. It's not illegal for a non-EV to claim a charging spot in Georgia. Energy department staff scrambled to smooth over the situation, sending other vehicles to slower chargers, yada, 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 yada. The story is now being used to exacerbate fears of range anxiety by people who don't want to see us weaned off of fossil fuels and, those electric cars, you don't want that. You can't get charging. You got to reserve us. Let me tell you something. It was the spring of 2020, so I guess I'm 3+ years into driving electric vehicles, and I remember being in the northeast part of Pennsylvania once, and because the temp dropped, and I was going to lose some charge in the overnight. I remember having concerns, but I've never been shit out of luck. It's not a big deal. I heard somebody say on TV last night, it's 3 hours to charge our. If you go to a supercharger like I do with my Tesla, it's a 20-minute proposition. There's a supercharging station on the Northeast Extension in Northeast Pennsylvania where I go fishing. And they call it the Jim Thorpe road station. It's really not Jim Thorpe, but okay. And there's a Burger King in there. And it takes me 20 minutes to walk inside and eat a Whopper. And by the time I eat the Whopper, by the way, a Whopper's a great sandwich.
There you go.
I mean, I'm a McDonald's person generally, but the Whopper is the best of the burgers. Do you agree?
I don't remember the last time I had a burger at Burger King.
Have you had a burger recently at any fast food place?
Nope.
Huh.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I was at McDonald's yesterday.
What?
Because of my mouth condition.
Because you needed soft food?
I had fries and a milkshake.
Oh.
Awesome.
Did you dip the fries in the milkshake?
God, no.
Oh, because that's really good.
Yeah. I don't need the whipped cream on the top of the shake. I guess they just do that naturally.
Oh, do they do that now? I did not know that.
I'm starving. Anyway.
Okay, so you did go to McDonald's.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm making a different point. The point is, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes.
But can I ask a question about it?
Yeah.
Is it because of it is? I thought that there were some areas of the country where you really could get in trouble. But for you to say that you
just got a plan. You got a plan.
Out there are chargers and makes me feel better because that's not like a metro area.
A ton of the stimulus money is going to expand the availability of charging stations. Here's the difference that you do need to know. I have a charger at my house. Okay, to charge my car is a several-hour proposition, but
it's not a supercharger.
You do it overnight,
right?
But the stations you see around the country are superchargers. It's a 20-minute proposition.
How much do you pay for it?
Pennies in comparison to gas. Like a fill-up for me might be $6.
Yeah.
Okay. You've probably driven between here and DC. There are a number of, Dan would know them all. There are a number of rest stops in the center of I-95. One of them is Maryland House. So on the way home from Washington a week or two ago, I stopped at Maryland House. I went inside and I had a Nathan's hot dog. They have a Nathan's there. And the amount of time that I ate the Nathan's hot dog, my car was charged. I'm just trying to
trying to show how long it takes you to
eat not a big deal.
Things versus how long it takes you to charge your car. So
it's my frame of reference.
The frame of reference are one Whopper or one Nathan's hot dog.
Yes. Now,
or is it two Nathan's hot dogs?
Now you put both.
Oh.
You put both of those in front of me. That is a Faustian bargain.
Why not just say and? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if they would mix so well. Make up your own mind.
You were so hungry, you just swallowed again.
Make up your own mind about an electric vehicle, but don't let ideologues convince you that you can't get a charge. That's not the reason. And by the way, I looked at hybrids. I looked at a hybrid that this is now going back 3 years ago. Non-Tesla product.
Because you were originally worried. Like, you thought you would be worried about it.
I had the concerns, but I'm now here to tell you,
Right.
3 years in, it's no biggie.
Right.
I wouldn't do one of those hybrids where there was a particular model, I'm not going to name it, but there was like a 15 or 20 mile hybrid where that was your electric capacity and then you had a gas capacity. And I said to myself, well, I simply drive from my home to my studio every day. That wouldn't have worked. That
Why?
wouldn't have worked. Because you'd blow through the 15 miles just puttering around town.
But then it would switch to gas, so what's the problem?
Yeah, but then I don't feel like I'm really in for the electric.
So you were like, I just want all in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, range anxiety. Get over it. It's fine.
Get
it's
over
fine.
it, according to
And the
Michael.
Granholm thing, bad staff work. Bad staff work.
Yeah.
Oh my
Bad
God.
instincts.
Gang, more from the Tuesday edition of the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. Yesterday's poll results on the 22nd anniversary of September 11, 21,887 voted. 22 years post 9/11, is the war on terror over? 92.61% said no. I was really surprised by that.
Were you? What was your vote? My vote was absolutely no.
I just thought there would be more of an even divide in the audience because, knock on wood, we've not had attacks on our shore in quite some time, and Al-Qaeda seems to be decimated. I heard yesterday from Billy Planner. You remember Etgar 36?
The teen bus.
So it's like a summer bus trip of mostly Jewish kids. Etgar, Hebrew, it means challenge, and they're all high school, college-ish. And they've, for the last 2 summers, as they toured America, they've come through here, and I've gone and spoken to them, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But he sent me a note yesterday, and he said, I thought you'd get a kick out of knowing that the Etgar crew, they're all back in school now, but they're all newsletter subscribers.
Come on.
That was my fee for speaking to them.
Every
I said,
single one.
every one
Yeah.
of you must subscribe. But he shared with me they were having this online active conversation about yesterday's poll question.
Come on.
Which I really thought was neat.
Good.
Here's an embarrassment. 22 years after September 11, 30 men still being held at Guantanamo Bay haven't been tried. I don't know that they ever will. They'll probably be repatriated or die of natural causes. We should have tried them by now. And guess what? Big mistake. We should have tried them in New York City, in the Southern District of New York. That was the proper place to try those cases, and security considerations caused that not to happen. There are also the torture issues and fruit of a poisonous tree on an evidentiary basis. I get it all. Today's poll question: should the U.S. use frozen Iranian funds as leverage to secure the release of American detainees, even if it means releasing detained Iranians in the U.S.? You know this is going to be a big talking point. And by the way, it's not a perfect deal. It's not a clean deal. But you know this will be cast as, can you imagine Biden announced this on September 11 anniversary? Giving the Iranians all this money. They're going to use it for terrorism and against Israel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Aaron David Miller said to me that it's probably the best of the bad deals. Like, there's no good deal you can do with Iran, but this is probably the best of them. Told me that he'd be voting yes on our poll question. Jack Oman, a great political cartoon for those who are subscribers of the Smerconish.com newsletter. Remember, Jack Oman is Tuesday. We have Rob Rogers on Wednesday and Steve Breen on Thursday.
It's a really good one.
It's the greatest. It's
good
about
one.
no labels and a third-party candidacy.
Sure is.
Okay, I'm racing to get to this part, TC, of the headlines.
Okay.
So that we can talk about Susanna Gibson. Who is Susanna Gibson, and why did she make the newsletter?
So Susanna Gibson is a Democratic candidate for the House of Delegates in
Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia, right outside. This is a Richmond.com story. And she's just in the newsletter because she's running.
Wait, can I give you her platform?
Sure.
Susanna Gibson's roots. We have a piece of the flyer. There we go.
Oh, boy.
Susanna Gibson's roots run deep in Virginia, where she was born and raised. As a wife, a mother of 2, a seasoned nurse practitioner, and as an accomplished public health specialist, her family has embraced Western, I think it's pronounced Henrico, as their home for more than a decade, inspired by her genuine passion for ensuring the well-being of the community.
Correct.
She's going to deliver tax cuts.
Good.
Lower healthcare costs.
Good.
Fight skyrocketing housing costs.
Like that.
Is there anything else unique about her candidacy?
Nothing at all, Michael. What would possibly cause you to want to talk about Susanna Gibson?
I'm just interested in state house races all across the country.
I know you are, and I think, every day we should mention one from a different
That's
state.
what we'll do.
And today is Susanna
We'll start
Gibson.
with her.
Okay, fine.
From the Washington Post?
Yeah, go ahead.
A Democrat running for a crucial seat in Virginia's House of Delegates performed sex acts with her husband for a live online audience and encouraged viewers to pay them with tips for specific requests, according to online videos viewed by the Washington Post. Susanna Gibson, a nurse practitioner and mother of two. By the way, she's very attractive.
Very.
Mother of two, running that's an irrelevancy, I'm sure, but I just thought I would paint the picture.
Right.
In a highly competitive suburban Richmond district, streamed sex acts on ChatterBait? ChatterBait, a platform that says it takes its name from the act of doing that while chatting online.
I mean, it's very clever. It is, to me, the ultimate of what we tell our kids, like, don't hit the send key. So these were live ChatterBait videos, I've now learned. I mean, this is why, by the way, growing up, I always told Emma, like, the rule in my house was never to look at mom's history trail because, research for the show, had to figure out what ChatterBait was all about. So they're live sex videos. People can send in tokens or tips and then request the couple or the individual do certain sex acts. So this is a live thing. And the idea is that it's not kept, it's not, archived, that it's live and that's it. That's a one performative situation. However, there is also a website called Recurbate, Recurbate, which posts archives of the ChatterBait videos. And that's where some intrepid investigative reporter or GOP operative found Ms. Gibson and her husband,
working for tips, allegedly.
Working for tips. No, not allegedly. Oh, no.
Okay.
She's like, it is her, it is them. And she's like, this, and she's saying, get over it. And saying,
she's saying this is revenge porn.
Yeah, she's saying, for someone to have posted this and used this, you're trying to embarrass my family. Yeah. Like,
I worry about the kids. I mean, the fact that she's a mom.
Right.
The kids. I worry about the kids.
But Michael, come on, it's the ultimate. What do we tell? We tell our kids, don't hit the send key. You joke all the time, like, no one will ever see it. Just send me a picture. Come on.
Here's her statement. In a written statement, Gibson called the exposure of the videos an illegal invasion of my privacy, designed to humiliate me and my family. It won't intimidate me, and it won't silence me. My political opponents and their Republican allies have proven they're willing to commit a sex crime to attack me and my family because there's no line they won't cross to silence women when they speak up. I mean, she's like turning the table or attempting to do so.
Yeah, I'm all for, like, you do whatever you want to do within your relationships as long as it's all consensual. I'm all about that. But I just think in a situation like this, it's sort of like judgment and taste. By the way, she's refusing to allow herself to be blackmailed in any way.
I want her in the race. Because I want to know when people go behind close that curtain and vote. Apparently, it's a competitive race, and it's a very important cycle in Virginia. One more detail I want you to hear.
Will this help or hurt her?
That's why I want her to stay in the race. Okay. I'm keenly interested to know.
Like she's staying in the race.
Will people's, this is horrible, then go in and pull the big lever and give her a vote. Daniel P. Watkins, a lawyer for Gibson, said disseminating the videos constitutes a violation of the state's revenge porn law, which makes it a Class 1 misdemeanor to maliciously distribute nude or sexual images of another person with intent to coerce, harass, or intimidate.
But they were not the only videos that were archived on that site. So it seems like they were found. I don't. That's a threading the
I don't
needle.
know.
I don't know. Legally, I don't know.
The couple had 5,700 followers. Many of the videos remained available to the public on other unrestricted sites as of Saturday. Gibson was not aware of and had not authorized the posting of any of the ChatterBait material on other sites.
Oh my goodness me.
So
Okay.
we got it all.
So
we got the
there's
Iranian,
that.
Smerconish.com today, the Iranian deal, what went on with September 11, the Biden remarks about, he was there the day after when he wasn't, and this very interesting Virginia House race that we will continue to follow.
Well, I am interested in the legality of it. I'm interested in the.
I'm
interested politically what will happen to her, but I'm also interested in the legality of it. If you're doing something like that, does that then? I mean, my take is if you got to expect any of these pictures or videos to be anywhere.
I've got to just move ahead because we have a time constraint here. I want to make sure I get to the livid couple made to sit next to farkling dog who drooled on their legs on a 13-hour flight. This is from the Daily Star in the UK, so it has to be true, right?
Hey, Paris to Singapore.
A pair of raging holidaymakers have claimed they were forced to sit next to a snoring, farkling dog for the entirety of a 13-hour flight.
Do you know that some people actually think that farkling is what it says in the story? And just to be clear, ladies and gentlemen,
That's
it's
my
not.
term of art.
That's your
I
term.
had to explain to Alice, who corrected my spelling before she distributed the newsletter
God
today. I'm
bless
like,
her.
no,
No,
Alice, it's farkling. I don't use that word. I will use the F word, Alice. You've
Yes,
heard me say that
right,
many
of course,
times, but I don't use this F word. I do not use it. I've changed it. In our house, it was farkling. They're demanding a full refund from Singapore Airlines after the stinky pooch made their long-haul journey a nightmare. The married couple traveling from Europe to New Zealand on the first leg from Paris to Singapore, they'd paid extra to fly premium economy, hoping it would make their flight more comfortable. Unfortunately, they were seated next to an emotional support dog with a flagrant disregard for flight etiquette.
Wait, I have a question. Legit. I mean, this sounds like it was an inconvenience for sure. But what if you were allergic? Like, I have a friend who's is allergic to dog saliva. So if he gets dog saliva on his leg, that's a problem. And this was evidently
He was
from the
wearing shorts
description.
and he got the saliva.
But what if you were allergic to dogs?
I don't know. You'd have a problem. You would have a problem. All right. Anyway, we got great stuff in the newsletter today. I trust you are a subscriber. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for listening on YouTube. Like, and subscribe. See you tomorrow.